Jack, and this is Jill. Jack likes Jill and he's thinking about how to win her heart. So now Jack knows Bob, Bob knows Rob, and Rob knows Jill, and so now Jack can try his luck. And thus it was born, the social network. If Charles Darwin were here, this is how he would see the evolution of man. But here's the story from the point of view of innovationists. Watch out for a special program on social networking on Innovation at 8 with Shweta Banda. Good evening and welcome to Innovation at 8 on ITM News. Today we will be talking about social networking. What is social networking and what is the future of social networking? Facebook has over 500 million users and 700 billion minutes of usage per month. I joined Facebook a couple of years ago. My mother joined Facebook a week ago. Social networking is engulfing the world in its web and no one can escape it. To shed more light on this, let's head over to the studio. Good evening and welcome to the studio. Let me first introduce you to our eminent guest, Ms. Mehak Parekh, a postdoctoral student in Innovation Studies, business guru, Mr. Nikhil Kaundinya, and to join us from Scotland, Mr. Omkar Matre, who is a big follower of Chris Anderson and his book, The Longtail. We have heard about social networking and social networking websites, and there are several definitions for what a social networking site is. Mehak, can you tell me what is the most important thing according to you for a social networking website?
Okay. Let me tell you, Shweta, I'm a big fan of your show and I'm really glad to be a part of it. To begin with, I would say that social networking, the basic feature that a social networking website should have is that it should allow users to create a profile that is either a semi-public or a public profile.
Yeah, and I also think the whole phenomenon of social networking started way back in the 90s, wherein we had Yahoo chat groups, Yahoo chat rooms and groups, wherein you could create your own individual ID and chat with people across the world. I think that is when this whole social networking phenomenon started.
Just to summarize, would you say that a social networking site should allow users to create profiles and connect with each other through their friend lists and create extended networks? So that, I think, is the definition of a social networking website. So Mehak, would you walk us through the evolutionary model of the innovation in very brief terms so that our users know what the different stages are?
Sure. Firstly, to begin with, the evolutionary model has three phases. That is the fluid stage, the dominant design phase, and the mature phase. The fluid phase is basically marked by the technical and the market uncertainties. Then you have the dominant design phase, wherein the product innovation slows down, whereas the process innovation picks up, and there is a standard designs which basically emerge. And this is the dominant design phase, followed by the mature phase, wherein basically the product and the process innovation both become stable.
So now that we know what an evolutionary model is and what the different stages are, can you apply this to social networking websites?
Sure. The social networking phenomenon went through its fluid stage from the period of 1994 to 2003. The first social networking website was formed in 1994 called the geocities.com. It was basically wherein the users could, they selected a city wherein they could place their web pages. These cities were actually named after the real cities according to their content. For example, you had pages which were dealing with entertainment. They could be placed under Hollywood.
Okay.
Then in 1995, you had tripod.com, Globe. Then you had classmates.com. However, none of these were sustainable enough. Okay. The first sustainable social networking website was formed in 1997 and it was called the 6degrees.com.
Okay.
And 6 Degrees basically allowed users to create a profile, to connect with their friends and to basically search their friend lists. And however, it still failed to become a sustainable website because there was not much that a user could do after creating a profile, and there were not many applications.
Okay.
So it closed down in 2000.
So would you say that at this point there was a brief chasm?
There was a brief chasm from the period of 2000 to 2003. However, due to the internet boom which lasted from 1995 to 2000, it was easily overcome. Users began, basically many people started using their personal computers and started logging on to their networks. Users began to grow, and more mainstream websites like Friendster, LinkedIn, Orkut, they were created.
And what happens after this?
After this, there were several websites which were created. For example, you had Friendster, which was created in 2002. Friendster was basically based on the philosophy that friends of friends made the best matches as potential partners. However, MySpace, which was created in 2003, it grew in popularity because it constantly added new and new features based on the user demand, and it could be called as the dominant design because it remained the most popular website till Facebook took.
So what stage would you say Facebook is in?
Facebook right now is transitioning between the dominant design phase and the mature phase.
Okay, at this point of time, let's take a short commercial break. Stay tuned for more. Mr. Omkar, can you hear me? Mr. Omkar? Okay. Mr. Omkar, can you tell me what is the long tail?
Hi Shweta. Yeah. Hi Mehak and hi Nikhil. Yeah, about the long tail, Chris Anderson has defined the long tail as moving away from the head of the demand curve and shifting its focus to the niche markets which are present in the long tail.
Now that we know the definition of what long tail is, can you give us some real world examples, Mr. Omkar?
Okay, the basic example I would like to give Shweta for the long tail would be the current music industry, comparing it with the CDs, Blu-rays versus the digital music industry. The simple example for audiences would be, for example, if a customer walks into any of these stores like Tesco or Walmart, they can buy the CDs, they can directly buy the Blu-rays which are available on those shelves in the stores. Whereas if you compare it to the digital music industry, on the websites and all, they have unlimited storage shelves, and on that you can access unlimited storage of the songs, unlimited number of the songs, whichever you want to browse it. So this is basically the difference between the current Blu-ray, CD and all to the online marketing, online music market industry. So basically long tail is about unlimited choices with niche markets.
Okay, so how do you think the long tail in the pure sense is different from long tail in social networking?
The difference in long tail, first of all, is unique. If you go to consider the inherent network effect, where it proves that if many websites users are logged into a certain website, and if those numbers would be in millions or billions, then definitely that makes the website a much popular website one. The examples which we could consider for these websites would be spymy.com or craniumcastle.com, where these websites are not that popular, but still users are logged onto this. This makes this is an inherent network effect basically. So The example would be on what? For example, I am opening a website for a personal interest credible to a person like who is interested in cricket or swimming or entertainment. Then I am indirectly forcing him to register on the website, as well as forcing him to enter his information, as well as he on his side will be wasting his resource and time to fill up all these applications. So basically, what do? I go onto these special and famous websites such as Facebook and LinkedIn or MySpace, etc., which are the heads on the demand curve, and on which I can just develop an application which is suitable to that, on which this website, Facebook and LinkedIn, where millions of users are logged in every day, they can directly access my application of their personal interest, and they can download hundreds of applications on their own profile. So this indirectly makes the user easily compatible to the website, as well as they are easily accessible to their own interest. Thus, the concluding part, I would say that thus joining an unpopular site is far less beneficial than they logging into their own big popular website.
Thanks for the input, Mr. Omkar. Let's take another short break. We'll be back